Hello everyone, welcome back. My name is Rajni Chaudhary and in this particular video we will be studying about underground cables. Underground cables are used for transmitting data or power from one end to another just like overhead lines. But underground cables are installed below the ground level whereas the overhead lines are installed on poles above the ground level. Following will be the contents of our video. First, a brief introduction about underground cable, shortly termed as UGC. Moving on, we will be describing the advantages and disadvantages of underground cable with respect to overhead lines. Then, construction of underground cables. What were the requirements of cables, types of cable, and types of cable fault. Lastly, we will be concluding our video with the causes of failure in underground cable. Let's begin with a brief introduction about underground cables, shortly termed as UGC. As said, underground cables are installed below the ground level. These are also used for transmitting the data or the power from one end to another end, just like overhead lines. But the only difference is that the overhead lines are installed on the poles above the ground and underground cables are installed below the ground. Generally, we prefer underground cables in metro cities where we see that population level is high and dense. One of the cities in India where such scheme of transmission is adopted is Chandigarh. Due to this scheme, we generally see that the hazards of overvoltage are prevented since the underground cables are less exposed to the atmosphere. Also, the underground cables makes the city clean and beautiful as we don't see any wire hanging just like we see in the overhead lines. Also, they are more reliable during any bad weather condition. As said, the overhead lines are exposed to the atmosphere and therefore fault occurrence in them is quite high as compared to the underground cables. Also, bad weather conditions like lightning, storming are generally affecting the overhead lines and not the underground cables since underground cables are installed below the ground. Moving on to the advantages. Advantages of underground cables. Underground cables takes less right of way compared to the overhead lines as we don't need any tower construction for arranging the transmission lines here. Also, they have a lower visibility since they are not exposed to the atmosphere and are not seen by the human beings as they are below the ground. Thus, they have lower visibility and therefore are less affected by the bad weather conditions. Generally, electromagnetic field emission is less in underground cables compared to the overhead lines. In underground cable, probability of interference with the communication line is also less. Underground cables possess nearly nil hazards for flying aircrafts and wildlife since they are below the ground. Underground cables are less subjected to connection theft and illegal connection since they are not visible to the humans. It is perfect to transmit the power for dense population area and therefore they are preferred in cities where the population level is high or dense. Moving on to the disadvantages of underground cable. Generally, they are more expensive as compared to the overhead lines. And since they need to be buried in land and therefore they require high skilled labor, which makes it 10 to 15 times more expensive compared to the overhead lines. Also, the repairing and maintenance cost is high. If a fault occurs, then the fault point cannot be easily located and also the maintenance of that repair work of that fault is also quite costly. The digging may damage the nearby cables. Suppose for maintenance work or for finding a fault point in a cable, we dig the portion where the cables are installed, and in that process suppose we damage the nearby cables, then the cost of repairing that cables also get adds up to our initial cost. Moving on, higher reactive power is also seen as the underground cables are very highly insulated cables, and therefore the insulation layer forms the capacitance. These cables are more subjected to damage during the earthquake. This is common since they are below the ground level, they are more exposed to the earthquake situations, and thus they are more subjected to damage during the earthquake. Moving on to the construction of UG cable. These cables are highly insulated cables. As you can see in the figure, a conductor is highly layered. The one point here represents a conductor. Second point here is the paper insulator. This is the first layer of insulation applied on the conductor. Then lead sheath, fourth bedding, fifth armoring, and sixth is serving. So 5 layers of insulation is provided to the conductors in UG cable. The underground cables can have 1 to 3 cores depending upon whether the single phase transmission or a 3-phase transmission is being done. For a single phase transmission, only 1 core is there, but for a 3-phase transmission, we say that the underground cable is having 3 cores, 1 core each for 1 phase. Also, different layer of insulation is done on the conductor, and the thickness of each insulation depend upon the voltage to be transmitted or carried. The first layer of insulation can be made up of paper, varnish, etc. Since we are representing here the first layer of insulation as paper insulator. Moving on to the second layer of insulation, that is metallic sheath. It generally protects the cable from moisture, harmful liquid, soil, and mechanical damage. Metallic sheath provides a major protection to the conductor. It is generally made up of lead alloys, or majorly aluminium. Moving on to the third layer of insulation provided to the conductor, it is termed as bedding. It is a layer above metallic sheath, and its major purpose is to protect the metallic sheath, since the metallic sheath is providing the majority of the protection to the conductor. It protects the metallic sheath from corrosion, mechanical injury, and is generally made up of fiber materials, majorly jute. Armoring. Armoring is a layer above bedding which protects the cable from mechanical injury during the transportation or workmanship. Means when the cable is being transported from one point to another, or when the cable is being installed, at that time the armoring protects the cable from the mechanical injury. It is generally made up of galvanized steel of robust nature. Serving. It is a fiber material laid at the upper surface of the cable to protect the cable from the external environment. It is the final layer of insulation done on the cable. It is a layer above armoring, and this layer is maximally exposed to the soil or the environmental conditions below the ground. Now, moving on to the requirements of cables. These are basically the requirements which need to be fulfilled before installing the cable. Conductors which are used in cable should be flexible and should have a cross-section area so that it can carry the desired load. Means it can meet the demand of load. Also, the insulation provided should be of sufficient thickness such that it can carry the high degree of safety and reliability factor. The cable should provide the mechanical protection for rough handling, since the cable will be transported, the cable will be installed, and therefore the mechanical protection of the cable should be good enough. The material used for insulation should be stable for physical as well as chemical environment. Since these are installed below the ground level, they will be exposed to the environmental conditions of ground. Thus, they should be stable enough so that they can bear the physical as well as the chemical environment of the ground. Moving on to the types of cable. Generally, there are three types of cable: low voltage cable, high voltage cable, and supertension cable. This classification is done on the voltage which can be transmitted. Up to 1 kV transmission of voltage will be done with the help of low voltage cable, whereas the transmission of voltage up to 11 kV will be done with the help of high voltage cable. Whereas in the supertension cable, we can transmit the voltage up to 33 kV. Moving on to the type of cable faults. On general basis, if we compare the fault occurrence probability in underground cables and overhead lines, we see that the fault occurrence probability in case of underground cables is less, but the common faults like open circuit fault, short circuit fault, and the earth fault can also be seen in underground cables as well. Let us describe them one by one. Open circuit fault. It occurs when a cable is broken, and this is generally determined by the help of Megger. Megger is a device which is used for calculating the resistance, large value of resistance. Thus, we see that whenever a cable is broken, since the length get reduced, and as a result of it, the impedance, if we compare to the original impedance of the cable, will be less here in case of open circuit fault, and therefore we can easily determine whether there is a case of open circuit fault in underground cables or not. Moving on to the short circuit fault. This type of fault generally occurs in multi-core cables when two conductors or more than two conductors come in contact with each other due to the insulation failure. As a result of insulation failure, the two conductors come in contact and result in short circuit fault. Earth fault. It occurs when the conductor of the cable comes in contact with the earth. This may also occur as a result of insulation failure. Now let us discuss what are the cases of failure in underground cables. Causes of failure in underground cables. The most common failure is improper sealing due to the poor workmanship at cable joints. When the long cable is used and the two cables are joined, then if the workman or the person who are installing that create improper sealing, then there might be a possibility of failure in underground cables. Thus, such type of cable installment require highly skilled workmen. Next, mechanical puncturing of lead sheath in cable. This is possible due to the underground environment condition, or when the cable is being transported or installed underground, then there may be a possibility that there is a puncture in the cable. Corrosion or decaying of lead sheath. As already told, since the cables are installed below the ground, there may be a possibility that the below environmental conditions can lead to corrosion or the decaying of the materials. Damage due to vibration and overheating. Overheating may occur when excessive load is being connected at the load side and more power is being withdrawn from the cables. Then due to the overheating cases, the insulation failure may also occur. Also, these type of cable transmission are more susceptible to earthquake and vibrations or shocks. Thus, damage due to vibration may also be a case of failure in underground cables. The last one is oil leakage when cable is vertically coated. It's not always compulsory that a solid insulation is being provided to the cables. There may be a possibility that their oil is also used as insulation in underground cables, and there may be a probability that the oil may leak when the cables is vertically placed. With this, we end here only. In this video, we have described the underground cables used for transmission of power or data from one end to another. Also, advantages and disadvantages of underground cables are also discussed here with respect to overhead lines. Types of cables and the faults that occurs in cable are also discussed. At last, we have described the causes of failure in underground cables. With this, we conclude here only. For more videos, stay connected and thank you.